Hey everyone, welcome back to Realpolitik, and today we're going to be talking about the latest developments in Ukraine for March the 1st, 2023. So let's get right into it. So, the Ukrainians in the last 48 hours have launched a multitude of drones towards Russian positions. This is an image I'm going to show you. Image of a drone found in the Moscow region. This seems to have crash landed. And most notably, if we zoom out of here and zoom into the southern part of Ukraine, so the Ukrainians have reportedly launched something like a dozen or 15 drones from Odessa towards Crimea. But according to the Russians, all of them were either shot down or they were jammed and brought down using electronic warfare methods. So that's not surprising to me because the Russians have very potent and formidable air defenses. They have a multi-layered air defense network, so I'm not surprised. These are allegedly the drones the Ukrainians are using. The Mugen 5 Pro is the model, and it's a Chinese drone. It's commercially available, so it seems that the Ukrainians are loading these up with explosives and sending them on their way, hoping for the best. And if you notice, this drone is really rudimentary, very basic, probably used by hobbyists. And honestly, this drone, compared to the Iranian drones, the Shahed 136 or Geron 2 as the Russians call them, those drones have a low radar cross-section, and these drones simply do not. So I don't know how effective they're going to be so far. They haven't been very effective. Now, let's zoom in on Bakhmut, which is the main attraction. So focusing on the Bakhmutska River, this blue line right here, the Russians have taken most of the east bank. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if the Ukrainians, I wouldn't be surprised if their soldiers are jumping into the river to try to flee. And if we look here, I don't know if the Ukrainians have been ordered to retreat, but they should have been given that order. But we can see the Bakhmutska River, the blue line right here, light blue. The northern section, the Russians have completely overwhelmed Ukrainian positions. In the southern center and the southern areas, the Ukrainians still have somewhat of a foothold, but the sad thing is many of the bridges have been blown. The bridges across the river have been blown, so I don't know what the Ukrainians are going to do. The only positive for the Ukrainians is that if they're trying to escape going west, the Russians cannot cut them off from the north, even though they control the northern road. And that's because I believe it was yesterday or the day before, the Ukrainians, you see this reservoir right here, the Ukrainians blew this dam right here connected to this reservoir, and basically the water went downstream, and this whole area has now been flooded. So until the water resides, the Russians cannot use this road to cut off the Ukrainians. Now, if we focus on the southern road out of Bakhmut, the Russians seem to have established, according to some reports, a foothold on the part of the road. Now, this hasn't been 100% confirmed, but I remind you, this is live UA map, a pro-Ukrainian map, and they're showing these engagement icons on the road a little bit, I guess, past the road. So I think if the Russians haven't, keep in mind the situation is fluid, but if the Russians haven't established a foothold, it's just a matter of time. Either way, if we measure it out, it's about a kilometer or less. The Russians are a kilometer or less away, their front lines. So snipers can hit the road. Russian ATGMs, I think the best models can hit targets at 5 kilometers away or slightly more, like 5.5 kilometers. So that road is not usable anymore. The artillery has been able to reach it for quite some time. Anyways, in the north, the salient that the Russians developed south of Berkivka, that salient has expanded, and the Russians are pretty much right at the last road in and out of Bakhmut, the central road. The Russians are pretty much there. You measure it out, and basically it's about basically a kilometer away. So even if we want to give the benefit of the doubt, I mean, it is about almost 2 miles or so, almost 3 kilometers. So basically artillery is going to reach it, snipers are going to be able to reach it, and ATGMs. So it's this road is not really usable anymore, and the Ukrainians, I mean, Bakhmut is operationally encircled. So the Ukrainians should be retreating, because this looks to be something reminiscent of Mariupol. Honestly, it's going to turn into a catastrophe if the Ukrainians don't withdraw very soon. Looking at the Rybar map, it's the same thing. This is the road right here. Romove is right here, and the Russians are not very far away. The Deep State map, another pro-Ukrainian map, I've drawn out the road, and interestingly enough, on this map, the gray zone actually touches the road already. So I think it's just a matter of time now. But if we want to measure it out, let me just get rid of this. So if we want to measure it out, yeah, I mean, that is basically less than a kilometer away. Oops, what? Didn't mean to do that. So let's do it from there to here. Yeah, I mean, less than 3 kilometers. So yeah, the Ukrainians are in big trouble, and they need to scramble and get out of Bakhmut as soon as they can. But hey, what do I know? I'm not Zelensky, right? So anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you watch till the end, and I will see you guys in the next one.